Peace and blessings to the family. This is Jarrett coming to you again. I wanted to come to you today to do our first segment of Powernomics. I know that Angie definitely wanted to make sure that everybody knew about Powernomics. This is the foundation and the platform for BlackSacEcon and some of the things that we're doing there, and the connectiveness and the defragmentation of the Black community's business community. This book right here, written by Dr. Claude Anderson, he's a educator, he's a political activist, he's a businessman. Look him up, harvestinstitute.com, or is it .org, actually, .org. He is the man. I've been reading this book. I read almost to the end of it and then put it down, and I had to start all over again. So I'm here taking notes on it, and I just wanted everybody to know what it is that I'm retaining from this book as I go through this book. There's only about 10 chapters, maybe less, but I just think that each chapter is so action-packed, and each and every one of us need to know exactly what's going on. I just got done with chapter 1 a couple days ago, took some notes on it, wanted everybody to understand what it is that I took from chapter 1. In chapter 1, he's laying the foundation for our past experiences in business. He's laying the experiences of the Black community economically. That slavery was an economic issue, and because it was an economic issue, everything that we are doing for our liberation must be based on economics and money and power. These are the things that run a capitalistic society, and these are the things that will get you through and overstanding in a capitalistic society. One of the things that I got out of chapter 1 were the 3 impediments to Black competitiveness. You can blame these things on white supremacy, as we all do, but at the end of the day, some of this is on the Black community, and some of the footwork has to be done within the Black community. These 3 things that he has are very straightforward, very simple things. Some of them are on us, some of them are on them, but at the same time, if we know about them, then we have no excuse for why we're not working on them, which is why I want to bring this to you. The 3 impediments to Black competitiveness are the maldistribution of wealth, resources, and power to the white society that was given to them from the beginning of the inception of the American society. That's something that we personally have very little control over, because they already have this head start over us. But if each and every day we're focused on our economic building, on our nation building, on our business building, then we'll be able to take pieces from that overall wealth that was distributed to them, and we'll be able to take pieces of it back and distribute it amongst our people. Reparations most likely will never be given by the white society to Black people, because there are too many white parties involved. It's not just America, it's England, it's Portugal, it's Spain, it's African countries as well, it's European countries all over the place, okay? It's everybody's gotten paid through it, and in order to pay that back, you would literally have to tear up our entire system. They're not willing to do that. Black people don't expect reparations anytime in the near future. But through starting businesses, through economic empowerment, you'll be able to continue to grow your wealth and continue to pass this wealth from generation to generation as they have, and you'll allow it to snowball into the wealth that they have and the corporations that they have. So that was the first impediment. The second impediment that we have is we have inappropriate behaviors. Black people, for some reason, we always want to do business with our competition. We do business with foreigners, we do business with white people, but we will not do business with other Black people. Yes, I understand that certain Black businesses, due to economy of scales, are unable to get their prices down to the level of the major corporate players, but at the same time, by the same token, if you're not willing to pay your Black tax, then you will never be free in this society. So you have to pay that tax in order for them to have the resources, in order to get mass quantity and go get a distribution deal where they're able to get their pricing down to compete with a Target, a Walmart, and all these other major corporations. So that's one thing that we need to stop doing, is stop working with our competition. Also, we have a problem of placing ourselves under broad and ambiguous categories. Dr. Claude Anderson talks about how we have a bad habit of placing ourselves in the minority category, the colored people category, the all these other amorphous words that have no real definition that are allowing others to hijack it. In 2016, I don't know the exact numbers, but in 2016, the majority of the minority grants went to white women. And white women are actually a majority because there's more women in the world, and in America there's more white people, so they are a majority, but yet they're taking minority bonds, minority grants, minority scholarships from black people. Okay, so one thing that he says, Dr. Claude Anderson, in his book Powernomics, he says that we need to get ourselves out of these broad and ambiguous categories, be black, say it's black, for black, all the time. Let the politicians, let the education system, let the legislation, let everybody know that what we're doing is for black people, supporting black people, for the benefit of black people. As soon as you place yourself in any other category, you are going to allow yourself the opportunity to be hijacked by groups who are competitors with you and who do not have your best interest at heart. Okay, so that's another inappropriate behavior that was listed in the book. Also, it was listed because of meritorious manumission, which was a slave policy that was put in place in order to reward those blacks who did the white man's work for him. So those blacks that would snitch on those who were planning on running, those who would whip their black brothers, those who would beat their black brothers, rape the black sisters, those black men were given meritorious manumission and were quote unquote freed, but they were still living under the society's law, but they were freed. And because of that, we have what we call the house Negro, field Negro, the good Negro, these types of things, the sellout. These types of things are damaging to the community. They're damaging to our unity. They're damaging to our trust because we no longer know who to trust with certain information. This stuff is damaging. We have to stop assimilating. We have to stop being the good Negro. We have to stop trying to get rewarded for doing the devil's work. Okay, that is always going to hurt us as a people. That is always going to stifle our economic growth. The last thing that he has under our inappropriate behaviors is that black people, for some odd reason, think that white ice is colder than black ice. They think that, it's white for weddings and black for funerals. For some reason, blackness has a negative connotation in the black mind. So, one of the inappropriate behaviors that we're showing is that we think for some reason that white is right. And that cannot be real because everything that is white has been anti-black. So those who are black, who know that they're black, who want to be black, need to continue to do black and know that black is beautiful, that black is powerful, and that black established this world as we know it. So we just need to know that and continue to have that in our mind and in our confidence level, in our self-esteem, and in the way in which we walk through the society. So that's one of the last inappropriate behaviors. And then the last impediment that we have to black competitiveness is that we have no plan for empowerment. Years have gone by since the civil rights movement in the 60s and 70s. The 80s was hard with drugs, the 90s was the lockups and the mass incarceration. Social media hit us in the 2000s. We have been shifting and being thrown through all these different social and political aspects that we're not ready for, we haven't prepared for, and the climate keeps changing and we're unable to get on our feet. And because of that, we have no national plan. Black people in one place have one idea, black people in another place have another idea. Because your idea is not my idea, I can't agree with it, even though we still want the same thing in the end. We're being crabs in a bucket because we have no plan. We have to plan both a code of conduct, amongst Black people. We have to plan a political plan as to what it is we want to see the politics do for us. We have to have a educational plan as to what it is we want the public system to do for our children and to teach to our children, i.e. Columbus did not discover nor did he ever come to America. They are teaching your children that every single day. Somebody needs to go talk to their local representative, their local board of education supervisor, and say something about that, because that is against what Black people stand for. Columbus was a rapist, Columbus was a pedophile, and Columbus was a bad man. He trafficked human beings. Okay, so we have to have a plan educationally, we have to have a plan politically, we have to have a plan socially, and we have to have a plan economically. More than anything, we have to have an economic plan. We have to have more Rosewoods, more Tulsas. We have to have more of these Black districts, Black commerce. Without these things, we are unable to build institutions. Without wealth, without money, without capital, you will be unable to build schools, you will be unable to build clinics, pharmacies, healthcare, grocery stores, banking facilities, anything that any major nation of people need to establish themselves as a people, you will not be able to have without an economic base and an economic plan. So, as stated by Dr. Claude Anderson in the book Powernomics, I would advise everybody go pick this up. Powernomics book from Dr. Claude Anderson. You can get it online. Amazon has it. Harvest Institute has it as well. I went on there and got a package deal. He has 4 different books that I bought. It's Powernomics, Black Labor, White Wealth, Black Folks and Other Tricksters, and there's another book that I got at the house. It's a 4-pack of books that you can get. Make sure that you get these books, man. This is information that's very pertinent to the Black struggle, to the Black reincarnation. This is very pertinent information. These things that we have here, even though they're impediments, I even marked in my notes that the inappropriate behaviors, those are Black behaviors that can be changed by Black people. Not having a plan for Black people, that is a Black problem that can be changed by Black people. Maldistribution of wealth, resources, and power to white society, though that is something that we cannot control wholeheartedly, through getting ourselves together and having an economic plan, we will be able to get those resources back. We will be able to get land, get resources, be able to link in with Africa and African cultures and the Caribbean and other cultures as well, other Black peoples, and continue to, link in and get our integrated businesses from the ground up, from distribution to retail. We should be owning things. So this is all the information that I got from chapter 1 from the Powernomics book. Obviously, it's an impactful book. Obviously, there's all kinds of information. There's so much more to it. I hope that I can get to you on each and every chapter. If not, till next time.